I've heard how popular this show is, and that's why I gave it a shot. And, well, for me, it's not really something I would rewatch over and over again.
I enjoyed this one quite a bit, apart from a few nitpicks that I have with it.
Me too. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time, especially because it features dragons.
Of course it is. Okay, so in this show, we have so many characters to focus on, and most of them pretty much have their own separate stories. Yeah, there was this plot involving the Night's Watch, which Jon Snow was a part of. Then we have Tyrion, who was imprisoned but then later on set free. Then there's Ned Stark, who was just doing his own thing for the most part until something happens later on. And then there's Daenerys, who has this relationship with Khal Drogo, and there's this whole subplot involving their people and all that. I'm so confused. This show has so many subplots and many characters to focus on. So, what exactly is the main story of this show? Well, this first season is technically supposed to be a build up for the rest of the series, introducing the characters and all that. So, we don't really know that for sure. But the plot I find the most interesting is the Night's Watch. Yeah, sure, it may seem a bit boring at first, but it gets interesting as it goes along because there's this whole build up involving the White Walkers and all that.
Yeah, like, I know they're basically, like, zombies or whatever, but I've been wondering where they came from and how they became, a thing.
Well, I guess we're about to find out. Eventually.
This first season also builds up the Lannisters, except for Tyrion maybe, and also the Baratheons becoming enemies of House Stark. Because, well, let's just say everything went downhill ever since Joffrey became king.
Yeah, because Joffrey just accused Ned of being a traitor just because he said that he has no claim to the throne, which I agree with. So, then he imprisoned him, and then he later on executed him. Can we all agree that Joffrey's the worst character in the entire show?
Yeah. I've always hated him from the start. I don't know why Sansa had feelings for him, and tried to defend his horrendous actions, especially towards her sister Arya. In that one scene.
I hate Joffrey so much. I want to eat him.
No hate towards the actor, though. He did such a phenomenal job making him such a hated character. Absolutely. He definitely deserves a praise for the performance he gave this character. He nailed it. He really did. Same goes for the guy who plays Littlefinger. That's his nickname. I didn't really like that character either, but the guy who played him did a great job playing him too. Speaking of actors, I would say that this show also has a really good cast of actors. Like, there's Sean Bean, Peter Dinklage, Kit Harington, Emilia Clarke, Richard Madden, Sophie Turner, Macy Williams, Charles Dance, Jason Momoa, and many others, I bet. Yeah, and also, apparently this show does not have a main character. Like a character who is the main character. I mean, supposedly Ned Stark is supposed to be the main character of this season, but he gets killed towards the finale. So, ouch. Yeah, well, it's not the first time we see a Sean Bean character get killed, if you know what I mean by that. Now, like I said in the beginning, this is not really a show I would rewatch over and over again, and there are a couple of reasons why, if anyone wouldn't mind if I explain them. Well, it's called a review for a reason, so go right ahead. Alright then. Okay, here's the thing. I do enjoy medieval fantasies and stuff like that. Heck, I even enjoy movies that are based on novels, even if I haven't read them. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings. I like Harry Potter and stuff. Game of Thrones, however, there are things I like about the show, especially the scenes involving the Night's Watch. To me, that's the best part of the show. But there were a lot of inappropriate moments, a lot of things in there that make me incredibly mad, a lot of moments that were hard to watch. And here's the worst part. They included animal cruelty, which I hate. Oh, you mean like the part where Ned Stark was ordered to kill Sansa's dog just because Arya's dog attacked Joffrey, even though Sansa's dog did nothing wrong. Yeah, I agree. That was horrible. Yeah. And not only that, but most of the characters are either very unlikable or very forgettable. I mean, yes, there were some characters I like, aside from the characters from the Night's Watch, because that's the best part of the show for me, like I said. Tyrion I like, especially when he bat-mouths Joffrey and smacks him. Arya I also like. Robb I definitely like. Bran, who is also a Stark, I thought he was interesting. And Tywin, I do like him as an antagonist. Okay. And as for characters who I think are forgettable, examples of that are Cersei, Stannis, Ned Stark's wife. Heck, Ned Stark himself, despite being the main character of this season, supposedly, we barely see him do anything throughout the show. Apart from executing a guy, killing Sansa's dog, fighting a bunch of guys, and then disagree with Joffrey being the new king. Other than that, nothing much. Yeah, maybe you do have a point. I mean, it would have at least been cool if we get to see him, I don't know, battling in a massive war or something. Something to give this character more character arc,
Perhaps.
And now for the characters I don't like. Aside from Joffrey and Littlefinger, I don't really like Sansa that much. Let me guess. Because she blindly had a crush on Joffrey and she tries to defend him despite his awful behavior, even towards Arya. That, and also because she was often very mean to Arya. Okay, that's also fair. And I also really don't care about Daenerys. I'm sorry, I thought she was a boring character. Plus, I really don't care about her relationship with Jason Momoa's character, Khal Drogo. All of that was just for him to die towards the finale.
Say what you want about Daenerys. She is my favorite character. She is the mother of dragons, after all.
Of course she is. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this season a 6 out of 10. I hope you Game of Thrones fanboys can respect my opinion on this, because I'm not a fan. I'm sorry, I'm not. But anyways, let's find out what show we're gonna review next.
The next show we'll be reviewing is
Ironheart. Really?
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.